Well, I don't know where the background is. I haven't seen it.
You're on a spaceship.
Okay.
Where are they from? Publix?
Okay. Well, I didn't know you're on a spaceship. You just said they were alien robots. You didn't give me any context.
Cat's on.
Cat's on.
Yep.
Cat and Vern are just cat. How you feeling?
Human robots.
Whatever.
Could be AI. I don't know.
Let me see if I can find it out here. Talk so they don't start yelling at me.
Hi, we have a lot of people on watching tonight. We've got Lana.
Like a chair.
Yes, we've got JB, Julie Bales, our yogi. We have Lisa Newman, Sean Hilton, of course. Thank you. Kat's on. We also have, let's see.
Hold on, I'm looking for robots.
Okay, so school's starting up pretty soon, right? And Jeff's going to talk about the rules for guns on campus pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We can go over hurricanes real quick, too, since we kind of just went through a mini hurricane, even though it was a tropical storm. It seemed to have caused more damage than any of the recent hurricanes. So I always get the state of emergency questions when hurricane season comes. School starts on Monday. Also, before I get into the gun stuff on the schools, another bit of warning for our viewers. I got a phone call. I got the robocall. As a parent, you always get the robocalls from the schools district telling you what's going on. We got a robocall tonight that this year they're going to put speed cameras in most of the school zones. So as you know, the red light camera, if you run a red light, takes a picture of your license plate, sends you a ticket in the mail. They're applying that same technology now to school zones on speed cameras. So if you're speeding through a school zone, they're going to take a picture of your license plate and they're going to mail you a $100 fine ticket for speeding through the school zone, just like running a red light. So for those people going through school zones when they start on Monday, and of course they wouldn't tell you which school zones are going to have them because why would they do that? They said for the first, I think he said month. I'd have to go back and listen to it, but it's either for the first week or the first month. They're only going to be sending out warning tickets. So for the first, whatever it is, the first ticket you're going to get in the next month is going to be a warning ticket. After that, it's going to be a $100 ticket. So be careful. You should be careful going through school zones anyway. But now they're going to be sending you tickets. And I think, don't quote me on this. The message is kind of confusing because it says if you're doing over 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, you'll get the warning ticket. So I don't know if that means they're only going to issue tickets for people doing more than 10 miles over the speed limit. Because if they start issuing tickets for people like doing like 1 or 2 miles over the speed limit, people are going to lose their freaking shit. How they what?
Why would they tell people this? Like they put a sign up saying no speeding or you'll be ticketed. Like this is everything you just said to me. This is what I learned. All right. For the first month, you're good. Like, so if you want to speed, speed all you want, you get it.
I don't know if it's a month or a week. I'm not giving out legal advice. My legal advice is everybody should do the speed limit in a school zone. But I don't remember if they said a month or a week. They're going to give out warning tickets.
But you can speed up to 10 miles an hour without getting a ticket. That's how my brain hears shit.
Again, I don't know. It says that the warning tickets will be for 10 miles an hour over. I don't know if that means the normal tickets are going to be 10 miles an hour over. Because, if you tell people that, they're just going to do 9 miles an hour.
Right.
Right. Like, I don't.
Right a block away from my house. And so they have a cop out there with a little radar gun. Yep. So I never speed in a school zone. As a former teacher, I don't know anybody speeding through school zones. So as I drive by, I wave at him. he actually waves back.
If I had to guess, it's a deterrent. It's a deterrent thing because they're probably only going to put them in like 2 school districts in the county. But if they tell you that, they're going to go in a bunch of districts and this is what could happen to you, people won't know if that's a camera in their school district, so they're going to go slow. So I think the reason why they tell people is it's more of a deterrent necessarily than it is actual enforcement. And then of course you're going to have problems. So like when you get a red light ticket, it's it's like a toll or a parking ticket is based on the owner of the car. Like they don't care who's driving. So if you let your brother borrow your car and he runs a red light, you get the red light ticket because it's based on your car, because it's considered a non-moving violation. A moving violation, such as normally a speeding ticket, requires them to know who the driver was, and that's why when you get a ticket, you have to sign at the bottom that you received it so they can prove you were the one that was driving the car. So they're not moving violations. They're not points on your license. They're just monetary fines. So the same thing's going to happen here with speeding tickets. They're going to send the ticket to the owner of the car, not the actual driver, which is why it's only going to be $100 as a non-moving fine, because normally speeding through a school zone is like a $380 ticket. So, but because they can't prove who the actual driver is, they're only going to send you the $100 fine like they would if you ran a toll or something like that. And then if you want to if you want to say, look, I wasn't driving, my cousin Joe was, the way it works with red light tickets is cousin Joe has to sign an affidavit that says he was the one who was driving, and then you have to submit that affidavit to law enforcement, and then they will change it from your name to Uncle Joe's name. But if Uncle Joe's not willing to sign an affidavit, then you're stuck paying the fine because it's on your thing. And if you don't pay the fine, like let's say if you blow it off, then they will convert it from a $100 non-moving violation to the standard moving violation. You get the points on your license and the higher fine. So people call me on the red light tickets all the time. I want to fight this. I want to fight this. There's no reason to. It's stupid to fight it, because if you fight it and lose, now you're going to get points on your license and a fine. You should just pay the $100 and then go beat up Uncle Joe and say, "What the fuck, man? You owe me $100."
Hey, can I borrow your Bronco for the next couple weeks?
No.
See, the funny thing is, both of our vehicles were registered in my wife's name. So every time I ran a red light when I was late for court or something like that, the fine would always come. It always come to my wife, so I never had any in my name. Now, of course, we had to pay it, and it came out of the same bank account, so it wasn't like I was getting away with anything. But it never went on my record because none of them were my name.
But it's the principle.
Correct. It's the principle. So just be aware of that. That's not a gun-related thing, but it's just my PSA. You should not speed through school zones for safety purposes, obviously. But
that's right.
In case you were wondering, you may be in a zone that has a camera, and you may just get $100 fines in the mail. Okay. So be careful what you're driving.
Don't speed in a school zone.
Of course.
Other places, different stories. That's on you. Don't speed in the school zone.
Don't speed in the school zone.
So,
well, before we get started, I want to say one thing. I wasn't here last week because I was, as you know, I was out of town. I was in Boston for a week with the family, going to New England. It was a great trip. It started out with our GSSF match. Did you guys talk about that last week?
Did we talk about it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I didn't watch the show. I was probably taking a dump.
Thursday night's a little fuzzy for me every week.
You're on. Yeah. Well, in case people don't know, we went to the GSSF match in Massachusetts last week. I shot Maine. That's right. It was in Maine. We stayed in Massachusetts, drove to Maine. So I shot for my very first time at a GSSF event. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time. I know you guys got trophies and placed and got plaques or whatever. I was in I think I was 16th out of 30 people or 32 or something. So it wasn't that bad. I'll take it for my first.
Top 20.
My first event.
All right, so let me ask you some questions.
That's the only rule, right? Don't finish last.
Right. So, 2 rules. Okay. 1, don't finish last. 2, just go there and have fun because you're not going to win. Yeah. All right. You're not gonna show up and win your first match when you don't understand how the match works. So go figure out how the match works. All right. So are you good with those 2 rules?
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean,
now what I'll ask.
I didn't come in last and I had fun.
There you go. All right. Now, for everybody out there that's not shooting into matches because they're pussies. I mean, because they're concerned about how difficult it is. Was it as easy as I told you it would be?
Well, you mean like the actual events?
Yeah, doing the match, shooting the
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, I mean,
It's simple,
The
right?
rules aren't. Yeah, the rules aren't complicated. The procedure's not complicated. I mean, it was actually harder to figure out the technical part of it, such as where you sign up, when you get your sticker, how you put that on the board, when your name is called, like the logistics of your turn was actually more complicated than basically learning the procedure, because the shooting was standard. You shoot some cardboard, you shoot some steel. It was pretty easy, and of course you can go. They don't. What's good is what I was concerned of is like you would sign up and they would just out of the blue go, "Oh, Jeff, you're first," and I'd be like, well, "Wait a minute, I've never done one of these before." But no, you decide when you're ready. You don't shoot. They don't call you to shoot. You go up and say, "Okay, I'm ready to shoot," and then you put your name on the list, and then you know when you're ready to go. So I was able to sit back and watch several other people go in all the different stalls to figure out how they worked, which was of course beneficial, being that I'd never done it before.
And the ROs love the newbies. They love.
Oh, they're
newbies.
really good for new people. They love the new people. They'll walk you through it. They're very kind with you. They'll help you with stuff. If you run into trouble with mags, they'll let you reset everything. So, no, I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. In fact, I took some pictures that I wanted to share with everybody of it because it was such a good time. Care if you got those. Here's a picture of me in my first ever GSSF match. There I am.
Yeah.
There I am, crushing
Pretty much. That's what it looked like.
crushing it. I just strolled in, took it with care, had a lot of fun. Didn't get silver, but I just kind of strolled in and knocked it out of the park. So that was fun. And then I took an exclusive picture of Mike also at the GSSF event shooting. There it is. Look at that. Perfect.
I'm ready to rock, baby.
That was nice, man. That's why you got a trophy.
Your hair.
Came docked out. Came decked out, ready to go, man. Congrats. It was a lot of fun.
And it paid off.
That's the difference between an expert and a beginner, right there. It's all about equipment.
There it is.
No, it was a lot of fun. I had a good time. The girls enjoyed it. Kara's excited about signing up for the youth thing. She keeps talking about it, so we've got to get her into it. So we'll be doing a lot more of those. They're a lot of fun. It's a good excuse to travel for vacation too.
Yeah, it's like next time we're gonna have more like time together. You know, like because one of the things is like you go out to dinner. You know, like
hang out.
Even on the way back when we stopped for lunch or whatever it was. Just sitting there at the table talking shit is just a lot of fun with all of us there.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be even better when we're all in the same shirts and stuff like that. You know, it's like one of my favorite things was like I asked one of the kids, all right, back in the day went, and I asked Bailey, I'm like, Bailey, how you like the match, right? Because that was her first day. And her thing was, oh, I loved it. It's not what I thought it was going to be. You know, it's a lot less stress. It's not as hard as I thought it would be. And she goes, but wearing a Veritas shirt, she's like, we're everywhere. She's like, it's just all of us everywhere. And that's what it used to be like. And we're going to get, once the Emporium opens up, we're going to get back to that mindset of, you know, having a big team, family, and stuff like that.
We had like 80 or 90 people.
We had 100 people at our highest.
Yeah.
Like we would show up and we've been to matches where there were 50 Veritas people there for the match.
They would give us our own lane sometimes.
Yeah, they like everybody was like, oh, these people come in and they back up all the it's like
over.
Like shut up. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want? Nobody to show up?
What percentage were we in the state of Florida?
In the state of Florida, we were over 20% of the entries of the whole state of Florida.
Yep.
At one point.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're gonna get back to that. So if anybody's interested, just let us know. And this, like, if you're out of state, you know, let us know. We'll let you know. We'll get you on the GSSF website and let you know where it is and stuff like that. Because they have like their travel squad that goes around and sets up and run the matches. And all the helpers come from,
they're great.
You know, the range.
Great. And we could have a kids team now. We've got Kara, we've got Gabo, and we've got Boston.
It's once we get the simulator up, like once that starts running, and the Emporium's open, we're gonna run kids leagues on the simulator, right? And it's just, we'll be able to like poach out of the league and switch them over to real guns and get them, start them off with a G44 and then get them going on 9mm as fast as we can and just have them going. So, but like I told you,
that would be a good thing because a lot of people who may be hesitant about throwing their kids out with real guns, you can start them on the simulator first and get them used to holding it and trigger discipline and all that kind of stuff. Then it'll be an easier transition into real firearms. My other daughter, Kara has a 44. She's fired a lot. She fired a 19 for the first time ever, so she was a little taken aback by the stronger effect of a 9mm, I guess, than a 22. My other daughter, Jada, that was the first time she'd ever fired a gun in her life, so she fired the 44 with a bunch of 22s. So it was good. They had a Glock guy there, and anybody who wanted to shoot can go up and shoot all that kind of stuff. So we had a really good time. It was a nice trip. So we look forward to
that was the first time I've seen that.
Sure.
That's the first time I've seen the Glock guy there. They do that. They do that at the SIG match. At SIG matches, you go, and when you're done, you can go over to the demo booth and let you shoot on the demo booth.
Glock should definitely do that. I mean, it's a freaking GSSF event. They should always have Glocks there.
That's what I'm saying. It's we're gonna be dealing directly with the GSSF, trying to we're gonna talk to them about setting up like more of a like youth program. So we'll be running like the youth program that we're gonna run, and we're gonna talk to them about it and see what they'll do to help us out with that, what they'll give us for that and stuff like that. But
cool.
We're gonna plug the simulator in first. So we can't do that till next Monday. Is it next
the
a
18th,
week?
right? Yeah,
19th.
The 19th. What is today? I can't see.
8th.
The 19th is when they
11
roll
days,
roll into town
Mm-hmm.
and set up the shoot house and the simulator. And we're gonna start running classes on those things like right away. All right. So Jeff, you and I need to talk.
Yep.
So what does your day look like tomorrow?
Busy.
All right.
We can talk afterwards.
All right.
So Pickle said, just tell Mike you've got a call and you'll call him right back and then don't ever. That's all he does. That's all he knows.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Pickle.
Someone's a little angry at me tonight.
All right.
So the whole GSSF thing was just a setup for me to show those hilarious pictures because I thought that would be a fun thing to do. Schools. You want to talk about guns on schools?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. The federal law says you can't have a gun within 1,000 feet of a school. We'll just start out with that. No gun within 1,000 feet of the school. So as weird as it is, I'm going to get into what the state law says, but technically, if you're going for a walk with your dog and you have a firearm like on you and you walk by a school, you might have a problem because they have a federal law about 1,000 feet of school. Now, again, nobody really enforces that because there's no ATF people down here. And the law does say the exception is if you have a concealed carry permit. So, but technically, let's say you don't have a concealed carry permit and you drive by a school and you're within 1,000 feet, you're technically violating federal law. So just keep that in mind.
Is that a school?
Most important is the school. 1,000 feet of a school. Right. Like as the crow flies, you put the school there and you make 1,000 feet, marker around it. You cannot be within that 1,000 feet with a firearm unless you have a concealed carry permit according to federal law. So if you don't have a concealed carry permit and you turn here and go, this not dropping the kid off at school, just driving by it on your way home on a Saturday when school's not in session, technically you're violating federal law. So again, nobody would ever know it. It's just one of those things, but just getting that out there. State law. So state law says that you can never carry on your person a firearm on school grounds. You can't conceal carry it on your person, even with a license. So let's say you leave your house in the morning, you have a permit, or under the new law, you're eligible for one and you just don't have a permit, but you tuck it in your pants like you normally do for concealed, appendix carry or whatever, and you get in your car and you drive and drop your kid off at school, you're technically not allowed to do that because you're concealing it, you're carrying it on your person. Even though you're still in your car on the drop-off line, you're having it on your person. The statute does not allow you to carry on your person a firearm on school grounds. What you have to do is put it securely encased in your car. So whether you have a permit or don't have a permit, you can put it in your glove box, you can put it in your center console, you can put it in your snapped holster and put it under your seat. It just has to be securely encased. Then you can drive through the drop-off line and drop off the child. You can park in the parking lot and go have lunch with your child. Go to the football game on Friday night or whatever. It just has to stay in your car, securely encased. You can never carry it on your person on school grounds. The statute literally says you can't have it on your person. So that's the main thing to remember, is that it's always got to be in a glove compartment or your center console, basically, when you're on school grounds. Obviously, you can never get out of your car and carry it into school to have lunch with your kid or carry it to the football game, because then you're really going to get in trouble. If you're in your car going through the drop-off line, I mean, we went through the legalities of it, but practical-wise, nobody, like, how would anybody know? If you're just sitting in the driver's seat, you drive up, your kid gets out, you drive off, nobody's going to see that you're concealed carrying your firearm or you're sitting in your car. So this is why it's never a problem. It becomes a problem when people get out of their car and go in and have lunch with their kid and forget that they're carrying their firearm, which is probably another reason why it's smart to put it in your glove compartment or your center console when you're going to the school, because then, you know, we get into these muscle memory things where we just conceal it, and then we get out of the car and go to Walmart, we get out of the car and go to the restaurant or whatever. You forget sometimes that it's on your body because it's something that you normally do. So if you force yourself to know that you're taking your kid to school, to put it in the center console of the glove box, there's no chance that you'll accidentally forget you're carrying it when you get the kid out and want to walk them to the front door on the first day or go have lunch with them or whatever, and you forget that it's on you. Just remember to always keep it securely encased in your car. That is legal in Florida. That's the only way that you're allowed to have a firearm on campus. However, there's one caveat with that. The state statute allows you to carry it that way that I just described it. It also allows each school district to opt out of that statutory exception and say you can't have firearms on property at all. So they have the right to not follow that state statute and basically create a zero tolerance policy for their school properties. So before you ever take a firearm to school property, go to the website for the school district for your county. They have to post it there. They have to track the specific language in the statute that says, pursuant to Florida statute, blah, 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 we hereby don't follow statute, blah, 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 and you are not permitted to have firearms. Like the statute has specific language that has to be on their website to let you know. They may have signs posted around the school, but again, the signs can't just be the gun with the circle on it. It has to specifically put the language of the statute in there. So double check with your school district and see if they have exempted themselves from that statute. If there is nothing on their website saying that they have exempted themselves from that statute, then you can carry on the property as I described earlier. So it's very important that you check that out. So as long as they're okay with you doing that, you can bring it on campus, but it's got to be in your glove compartment. Center console's got to be securely encased and never leave your vehicle and not be on your person ever. That's basically it in a nutshell.
Oh boy.
Yep. I mean, it's not super
Are you
complicated. Sure? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Why? Do you think I'm wrong? Or are you just asking?
No, because I get all my information from you.
Okay, so I want to make sure you haven't heard anything different. Now, I actually just did a recent video called The 5 Places in Florida that basically I get asked the most about where to carry. Banks, schools, et cetera, et cetera. Schools number 1. So we can probably link that video down below and it goes into a little bit more detail about it, and it quotes the statutes and everything else. So, and then there's other important places that are covered in there: banks, post offices. Basically, I get the same questions all the time about, well, can I carry here? Can I carry there? So I basically took the top
All right,
five
why don't
that I
you do
got,
that?
and I made a little.
Why don't
video.
you quiz me? Why don't you quiz me on them, because I haven't watched the video yet, and see how I do.
Well, then you should go watch
Now
the
that
video.
I have. Yeah, but then I know the answers.
What about a bank?
Why don't you
Can you
quiz
carry
me?
a firearm in a bank?
Yes, you can carry concealed in a bank. Banks are not federal buildings; they're federally insured.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm 100% positive you can carry concealed in
Okay.
a bank.
You're correct. Banks are not federal property.
Okay.
What about a post office?
A post office. You cannot carry in a post office. The parking lot is different. If it is federal property, then no. But if it is like a lease, so it's in a strip mall or something like that, then you're okay.
What about a school?
You just went over school.
Right. I want to see if you were freaking paying attention.
Were you listening?
All right. So you can't take a gun onto school property unless you have a concealed weapons license or it's securely encased in your glove box, your center console. It's not on your body, I think, is the key sentence here. It's got to be properly concealed, locked in something other than being on your body. Is that correct? Would that be the correct way of saying that?
Technically, however, you did say that you have to have a concealed carry permit. That's only for the federal. Maybe you were covering everything. For the state law,
I'm trying to cover everything.
Right. For the state law, it just says securely encased. You can't carry it on your person. But if you want to make sure you're also not violating federal law, you technically have to have a concealed carry permit, or under the new law, be eligible for a concealed carry permit and just don't actually have a permit. So theoretically, yes. I don't remember what the other two were. You're gonna have to watch the rest of the video.
What are the other two? One's got to be the fair.
No, that didn't come up.
Nope.
It was the fair. It was. You're right. One of them was the fair.
Today's? Oh, okay.
And the fair
Yeah,
is going to go by
I'm
what?
pretty sure it was the fair.
It's going to go by what the county laws are. So if you're going to the county fair, you get whatever the county laws, whatever. No?
Nope. The
So
counties can't make
you're
firearm
allowed to
laws.
carry concealed.
The county cannot make firearm laws. We have the preemption statute in the state of Florida. Only the state can make gun laws. The issue with the fair is who's running the fair, like who's owning the property. So if the property is a county-owned or government-owned property, then you can carry on that property because the county government can't tell you can't carry on their property. If the property is privately owned and the county is simply like hosting their fair there and kind of leasing the fairgrounds for the day, the private company, like any other private company, can tell you that you can't have firearms on the premises. So that's why some counties, like in Sarasota and Manatee, they have them at the fairgrounds, which are owned by the county. So they can't prevent you from carrying at the Sarasota or Manatee County Fair because they're owned by government fairgrounds. If you go to other places like Hillsborough County or sometimes like in Lakeland or Orlando, those are technically private properties. They're owned by private entities, and they simply like lease the property for a week for the fair or whatever. So the government doesn't technically own the property. So they'll tell people you can't carry at like the Tampa Fairgrounds or whatever. So what you have to find out is the property owned by a private company or is it county property? And that's what'll make the difference in whether you can carry at the fair.
Where do you find that information?
You usually go to
channel.
for each county, you just go to the county. So usually every county fair has a website, and when you go on the website, they'll tell you what their rules are, and then some of them aren't necessarily telling the truth because someone will still say no firearms, even though they can't say that because they don't understand the law. But they should specifically say what their firearm policy is, and that should track whether it's owned by the county or not. And a lot of people go on. You can go on Facebook groups because people always go on like MGT and say, "Hey, can I carry at the fair?" There's Florida Carry. I think if you go to Florida Carry Inc., they have a process on there for how you can find out what it is. They do this. They do like this. They call it a government two-step because, again, it's run by the county, but the property is leased to them by a private company. So it's a way that the county's getting around the preemption statute by leasing their property from a private land. So it's kind of bullshit the way they do that, but technically it's legal.
Jeff, you had two other things on your musings today. It was stand your ground and carrying in your car. Did we already talk about carrying in your car?
At school or just in general?
No, in general. Transporting in your personal conveyance and stand your ground. Those were the other two things that I remember from your musings today.
Well, you must have watched other videos then, because the top 5 carry places didn't have anything to do with those. But maybe
you don't know.
Maybe you finally maybe you're just getting caught up.
Maybe you're doing videos off of notes.
On my
That's what it is.
Maybe you're just getting caught up.
So how about in your car? That's an important one.
Yeah, I mean, carrying your car it's the same rule it's always been. If you don't have a concealed carry permit, and you're not eligible to have one, so it's both the standards. Don't have one, and I'm also not eligible to get one, but you're still allowed to possess a firearm. Then you have to carry it in your car securely in case, glove box, center console, snapped holster, etc. If you have a permit or you're eligible for one and just didn't get one, then you can carry it concealed anywhere inside the car. You can carry it on your person, under the seat, wherever you want to carry it.
And it can be loaded.
So the question there is just it can be loaded, round in the chamber, ready to go.
Thank you.
Somebody tell you they couldn't carry it loaded? People say that all the time.
Somebody told me that, and I said, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
So
no, people say that all the time. I've watched.
No, he didn't say it.
I've watched dash cam videos of police officers telling people, "Oh, you can't carry with a round in the chamber. You can't. Your magazine or your bullets have to be separate from your gun." And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like I've seen literally sheriff's deputies telling people that on body cam footage. So there's a lot of people that don't understand that rule. You can carry your handgun locked and loaded and ready to go. If it's concealed, you can carry it anywhere in the compartment that's concealed. You can put it on the passenger seat and throw a towel over top of it. If you want to drive around with your gun like that, it's perfectly legal because it's concealed. Now, if you take the towel off of it, it's open carrying, and you're not allowed to do that because open carry is still illegal in the state of Florida.
If I'm going fishing,
as long as it's concealed, you're good to go. Good to that. If you want to claim you're on your way to and from fishing, that's an affirmative defense. So you'll probably get arrested, and then you can tell that to the judge that I was on my way to fishing. And you better have live bait swimming around the back of your seat, along with a couple of fishing poles and everything else. Because if you don't have any of those things, good luck trying to prove that. A lot of people don't realize that, and this is an important thing to say, is all those are defenses. Like open carry is illegal. There are exceptions on your way to and from, fishing, camping, et cetera, but those are affirmative defenses. In other words, the cop can just arrest you for open carrying, and you have to come into court and prove that you were doing one of these exception activities. So it doesn't matter whether you think you are or whether you can prove you are. The cop can still arrest you on the scene because it's an affirmative defense that you have to assert in court. And so that's why you better make sure you've got fishing poles, bait, like all that stuff to back it up.
I fish with my hands.
Stand your ground is too long of a video. We only got like 8 minutes, so we can do that on another day. Or they can subscribe to Musings with MGL because I've done numerous videos on stand your ground. I'll say one thing real quick because we talked about open carry, just to bring everybody up to speed. Gun Owners of America just filed a lawsuit against the state of Florida challenging open carry. I'm not getting in an open carry argument because I know we always do that. What I'm saying is that they tried again to pass it through the legislature. The Republican Senate president and the Republican House president shot it down and wouldn't even let it get out of committee. So once again, open carry died immediately, didn't even get out of committee. So GOA, Gun Owners of America, got tired of waiting, and they filed a lawsuit because somebody filed a lawsuit. I don't remember the state, but about 6 or 7 months ago, they filed that lawsuit in another state. and the federal court overruled the open carry ban in that other state because they said under the Bruen decision it's not historically precedented or whatever. So it basically got thrown out in that other state. So now GOA filed one here against Florida as well. They just filed it a few days ago. So just to let everybody know, there's a pending lawsuit against the state of Florida to get rid of the open carry ban. It will probably work its way through the system. And if it goes the way the other cases are going, at some point it'll probably get overturned. So we'll see how it goes.
2 quick questions for you. What about school-sponsored shooting events on campus? And talking about hospitals, can you carry concealed weapons in hospitals?
Yes.
So school-sponsored shooting events are okay. School-sponsored shooting events are okay. There's actually an exception in the statute for school-sponsored shooting events. So you can carry, not concealed carry, like you can bring firearms on campus. Because remember, we're talking about bringing firearms on campus. So just because you're going to a school shooting event doesn't mean you can carry your concealed Glock 19 to go watch your son shoot at target practice. The exception is for the target guns. So you can carry around the 22s or whatever they use for the school-sanctioned shooting event. I don't know any schools that do, AR-15 or 9mm shooting events. Maybe there are some, but it's basically just allows you to carry the firearms on the property. Hospitals are
and the other one is
hospitals are tricky. Yeah, here's the issue with hospitals. Hospitals per se are not excluded, so you can carry at a hospital. So there's nothing in the statute that says hospitals in general you can't carry at. The problem is you cannot carry in any facility that houses or deals with people suffering from mental health disorders. Mm-hmm. So every hospital tells you we deal with mental health people in this hospital. We either have a mental health facility, because most hospitals have a facility dedicated to Baker Acts and things of that nature, or they come into the ER because they bring a Baker Act in or a Marchman Act person in off the street and they bring them to the ER. So every hospital that you probably see will have a no gun sign on it. And every time somebody's called us, and because I work with Florida Carry Inc., and they sue a lot of these places for violating the rules and stuff, whenever they do, we send a letter to the hospital that says, hey, you need to take this sign down. And they always reply and say, oh, but Florida statute, I don't know it off the top of my head, but blah, 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 section 7 says anywhere that has services mental health individuals counts, and we service mental health individuals at our facility. They won't say where in their facility. So, for example, like Sarasota Memorial Hospital has a Baker Act facility. It's not in the hospital. I actually used to go there to do Baker Act hearings back when I was a prosecutor. It's a separate building that's kind of like the block over, because, SMH is like numerous blocks over there. You have the big main hospital and all the separate doctor's offices. They have a Baker Act facility, but it's over here, and the hospital's over here. But they say you can't carry in the hospital. Their reason is because the Baker Act people first go to the emergency room at the hospital, then they take them over here to the mental health facility. So you cannot, according to SMH, carry a firearm at SMH because they deal with mental health people in their facility. So that's the answer for hospitals, is most of them are going to claim that they deal with mental health people, and so you can't carry there.
Thank you. James has a quick question. What about carrying it securely in a shoebox?
That should work. It's just got to be it's got to be securely encased, which is basically any sort of closed container. So if it's in a shoebox with the lid on it, that would be perfectly legal. You can put it in a gun case. You can put it in a zipper gun case, any sort of container that's securely encased.
That $13 you cheap bastard with a regular case.
Right. Get a regular gun case, or carry in the case, or shove it in the fucking glove compartment. Shove it in the center console. Every car comes with a shoebox. They usually come with 2 of them. Center console and a box. We'll put them in there.
Oh, we got
to get to the wheel. So like a chair, because we're going to spin the wheel and get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys have more questions about where to carry, follow me, watch my videos, and send them in, and we can continue this next week. I'm always willing to answer these questions. So if you have more carry questions, send them in to us over the week, and we can address them next week. I don't mind following up on it. We kind of lost our other gun lawyer, so it's just going to be me from now on, so I don't mind answering all those questions.
No more Cindy?
She's moving.
Where's she moving to?
Yeah.
The Tennessee to
Texas.
be near her family. Where?
Texas?
All of their
Yeah.
kids live in all of their kids live in Texas, so they're she's shutting down her
Yeah, they're
business
gonna
here,
be-
and her and Tim are moving to Texas to be close to her family, so they won't be on the shows anymore. They
I
maybe they'll
know
come
that.
back for a goodbye show or something. But
All right. Well, like and share. All right, and comment. And then we're going to spin the wheel after we spank our sponsors again.
Woohoo!
So, I'd like to spank our king sponsor. Oh, she's doing the wheel.
I beat her.
Johnny Custom Glocks, because life is too short to have a Glock trigger that sucks. And also Sean Hilton over at smokeshow3d.com. So go get yourself one of these if you don't win tonight, because Sean wins them all. All right.
We're the Smoke Show Brothers.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell was that?
The light fell
The
off.
light fell down.
Ah,
And
spin it.
all right.
So we're doing the honors block first.
Okay. Block.
Oh, we can't see because the thing's in the way. John Hilton. All right, who's underneath him?
Mark. I couldn't read the last
it.
name.
I can't see it.
Hold on. Mark Zildjian. Oh, happy birthday, Mark.
Mark Zildjian. Okay.
Oh, that's what we need to talk about, Jeff. So don't go anywhere.
C-I-L. How do you
It's
spell
just
Zildjian?
put Zill.
Zill.
It's not like
How
there's a
you don't know? How you
bazillion
don't?
Zildjian. All right, so he won. What's that? The
The
block?
block. Yeah.
All right, what do we got now?
Next, we have a mug.
The mug.
We have
Spin
any
for the
mugs
mug.
left?
Yeah, we got mugs left. Well, we haven't shipped any yet. No, that was for the block. Yeah, Sean can win the mug, even though I think he's already won one. We'll just give him one and give it to somebody else if he
Yeah.
wins.
I can't see it.
All right, so
He can get
Maria.
one. Maria?
yeah, we'll give Sean a mug and we'll give one to Maria. Doc.
Yep.
All right. This is for the first chance to win a chance to win. The hour on the simulator.
Yeah, 1 hour. It's gonna be awesome.
And this can go to Sean. One of these two can go to Sean.
Really?
Jill St. John, just saw her the other day.
Great.
Her and Smokey. All right.
I'm gonna laugh my ass
So the
off.
only-
Sean doesn't win either of the ones that he's actually allowed to win. That would be funny.
I know he didn't win last week. Go ahead, spin it. It's like I'm rooting for Sean to win. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we don't let him win anything else. He doesn't
Read it.
Nope.
Lance!
I need Lance's
That's-
info.
Oh, he's on Facebook. He's on my friends. I probably got his cell phone number too.
Okay. All right.
All right, so
That's
there you
it.
go. So that's the second week of 4 weeks that we're giving away a chance to get an hour on the simulator. And
Nice.
you won't have to wait till it's open. All right, till the Emporium's open. You'll be able to just get in there and crank it out. We'll figure that out. All right. So want to thank everybody. Thank everybody for checking us out, supporting us on this show. Hopefully we can continue to give away cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jeff,
Yep.
try not to go anywhere. All right.
I won't.
We got a live event that we're working on soon. All right. So we're going to get that going as fast as we can. Probably within the next month, we'll have a live event. We'll talk about that next week if we can. All right.
This
So-
is live. Not that.
Like on location.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say this isn't pre-recorded or anything. This is all live and uncut. Musings with MGL. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So let's go. I got 999,000 to go.
Oh.
99,000 to go. All right. So thank you, everyone. Peace. Play music.
Good night.
See you next week.